So hey everybody, welcome to week 4. So the theme of this week, we're talking about leadership and the idea of servant leadership. So I know that you have a handful of books, but I would highly recommend another one to either buy now or wish list now. Probably don't want to read it, although it is an easy read. I brought it with me as I walk around Hillbrook's campus. It is Hacking Leadership, and there are 2 authors, Joe Sanfilippo, Tony Saninas. So in this week's announcements, I will link to probably their Twitter accounts, so they're all over social media. Tony was in California at Fall Q. He was one of the featured speakers. He flew in from New York for the Q conference. So I had the chance to hang out with him for a little bit, and he is amazing. So much of what he talks about that I think is kind of the next level of what, especially that video you're going to be watching for the discussion prompt. So much of that is, as far as Tony's concerned, about culture and about relationships. So I think that also fits in so well with the Christian message from this week. And you don't quite get that in the same way in the required reading that you have. So I don't choose the books, but if I did, I would pick this book. It's really, really good. And at the very least, follow Joe, follow Tony. Tony's just getting started on Snapchat as well. Can we do a quick tangent? Yeah, of course we can. It's a video, it's a one-way conversation. Although you can talk at me, right? All right, so Snapchat, one of the hardest things about Snapchat for people once they kind of wrap their brain around it is that you're not able to find each other, right? So how do I know who to follow? So I just found something, and again, I'll link to this. It's called Snapdex, D-E-X, where you can add your Snapchat account, all your other social media accounts, and then add tags. So I emailed the folks at Snapdex, and we added the tag EdTech. So now you can find EdTech people that are on the Snapchat. So super exciting about that. Yeah, so if you're not on Snapchat, we can talk more. Ooh, almost dropped my phone, but I didn't. Yeah, let's talk more about the class, shall we? So you have an assignment coming up, the NIH training, National Institute of Health. So the idea of that is that if you do some research later on, you will know kind of the official way to do it. By the way, this is the hill of Hillbrook. So go through that. Should be pretty simple. You're just gonna upload the PDF and be able to just show me that you did it. So it shouldn't be too incredibly difficult. You're gonna do another collaborative group. So I will go to Blackboard, do create 2 random groups. I will post those random group names, and you're gonna be doing a mind map with that. One of the things you're gonna be doing is called a quiz. Even though that's not really the point, it's more of kind of a discussion, but in a different way. I think the bigger idea of it is just to introduce you to the tool. It's called Go Formative. So I created a class, so you're gonna enter the code that I have where it says quiz, enter this. So the trick with this is that you wanna sign up as a student because you are my student using eagles.cui. So you're gonna have a couple different accounts. Then if you have a work Google account, I would log into that Google account, create a second Go Formative account as a teacher. Because with your work account, you're a teacher, and with your Concordia eagles.cui account, you're a student. That actually is annoying and confusing and amazing because it gives you a chance to see the student and the teacher side, which I think is super, super important. So again, it's not a terribly exciting activity or quiz, but the idea of, hey, this is Go Formative, it's super good stuff. That I think that's kind of the takeaway for you guys. So the other thing you're going to be doing is emailing me a checkpoint, filling in that table. Here's where I am, here's what questions I have. If you don't want to use that exact template, just a few sentences kind of covering the same basic things, and more importantly, if you have a specific question, just let me know if you have that question. I think the assumption, I know. So my assumption is that you're completing it because you have to complete it. So if you actually do have a question about it, just make it clear that you actually have a question. You're not trying to just, do the good student thing and complete the assignment. which I know I do when I take classes. So yeah, that's what's going on this week. It should be fun. And this week's assignment should be pretty simple. So hopefully you're kind of getting your feet wet. Hopefully you have some sort of kind of routine. For me, it's always on Thursday nights. So I'm actually recording this right now on a Thursday night, and then I post it to be an announcement on Saturday morning. That way I'm not walking around at school on a Saturday morning. So yeah, that's the plan. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and happy week 4.